Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in, and let's get right to it. But before I talk about the Bears' potential stadium move to Indiana, make sure you guys leave this video a like, help this channel to grow. Comment your thoughts, because I know you guys gonna have a lot to say about this. And also, make sure you click the subscribe button, notification bell, so you will not miss anything that I have to post on this channel. But let's just get right into it. The Bears released a statement that Indiana stadium build inches closer. The one thing, let's read this statement first, is that the Bears said in their statement, "We are committed to finishing the remaining site-specific due diligence to support our vision to build a world-class stadium near the Wolf Lake area in Hammond, Indiana. We appreciate the leadership shown by Governor Braun, Speaker Houston, and Senator Mishler, and members of the Indiana General Assembly in establishing this critical framework and path forward to deliver a premier venue for all of Chicagoland and the destination for Bears fans and visitors across the globe," the team said. "We value our partnership and look forward to continuing to build our working relationship together." Now, lawmakers in Indiana, they have shown the Bears that they are more serious about necessarily getting a stadium built than especially the Chicago side and especially the Illinois side, which was supposed to have a meeting. This is February 19th, night of February 19th when I'm recording this. I know I'm a little late recording this, but I still have a damn day job, so I do attend to that. And this is getting recorded the night of, and they'll be posted on the 20th morning. But the problem with this, for a lot of reasons, is one, the Bears have been pushing at this for at least the last 3 to 4 years. I think it was 2022, 2023 when they actually purchased the land of the Arlington Heights property. And I think, yes, there's a lot of problems with this. Chicago, the city of Chicago wants the Bears to pay for it. That's a problem. I think the city of Chicago, if they really want the Bears to stay in Chicago, and I have this problem with Illinois itself, because me as a resident of Illinois and someone who lives not quite too far from the actual Hammond area, which it will be better from my personal standpoint at this time right now, but things could change between now and then. But I think when we're talking about this particular move, the way that this thing has gone, the Bears also have a little bit to play in this. They've been switching their things back and forth because it was Arlington Heights. I think in 2023, 2024, the focus was in Chicago, then Indiana, and later on last year, started to make a push, and then a little bit into earlier this year. Now Hammond has come in to push a bill to have a state for Northwest Indiana. Now, there is a couple of things and that a lot of people are going to say about this. One, I think an issue with this, along with people from Chicago like me, diehard Bears fans like me, is that it does lose a little lore that the Chicago Bears are not in Chicago. That does lose a little lore. If this actually happens, it's not confirmed yet, it's not a permanent thing yet. It's just Indiana is making a step closer with them covering some of the fees, covering some of the cost of the stadium, which it looked like Chicago was definitely not going to do, and Illinois was kind of sitting on their hands, because let's be honest, and like I said, I'm somebody that's actually lived in the state of Illinois basically his whole life. The state of Illinois sits on their hands on a lot when it comes to getting things done. Now, when it comes to collecting their money, they're not going to sit on their hands at all. They're going to make sure they get their money. But when it comes to getting things done, when it comes to, even whether it comes to government assistance, when it comes to things like that, Illinois is a state that sits on their hands. When it comes to a lot of things, they are a slow processing state unless it involves collecting dollars. Then they're on top of things. That's one. Two, this might sound as a bit of a controversial take on everything that has been going on lately. I kind of blame Bears ownership. Here's why. One, when you're looking around a lot of the other owners in professional sports, whether we're talking about the Mark Cubans that was moving in Dallas Mavericks, whether we're talking about the Steve Ballmers, whether we're talking about other owners that is in the professional sports realm, the Bears are a ownership group that their sole claim to revenue, their sole claim to, I guess, I'm not going to say fame, but their sole revenue is based, literally their revenue is the Chicago Bears. A lot of other teams' owners, well, we don't count those damn Packers into this because they owned by the public and that's so stupid. But either way it goes, a lot of owners of other teams in professional sports, they have other business ventures that actually brings them income, and sometimes they speak that towards sometimes their professional teams. Bears are a team or an organization that has that unfortunate thing that they don't have that. And I think that is another reason why this process has taken a little bit longer than expected, or a little bit longer than we actually wanted to, because of the sole fact that this Bears organization and this Bears ownership group doesn't have too much of an income of revenue from other sources other than the Chicago Bears. And I've always said this, and you guys can go back to previous videos where I've actually said this, or I've said this numerous times on this channel. This organization would not be at its peak, would not be at its greatest until the McCaskey family is out of the door. And it's sad to say it, as much as they love this team, as much as we love this team and all that, I think a good deal of Bears problems comes from ownership. And this is coming from somebody who has, God rest his soul, I love this man, but this is, my father actually worked for the Bears as I was growing up as a child and my youth. And I never forget stories about how he used to say how cheap the Bears ownership group actually was, with him doing the security and the owners' boxes, and how the owners' boxes for visiting teams was better served or was better staked out than the Bears ownership group's boxes. And those kind of things he said to me, while granted it was just stories about him and working with the Bears, but they stuck in my brain. And it's one of those things that it comes back to reality now. Because I personally think if we had different ownership group that had incomes and in sources of money from other resources, I think this stadium deal gets done a long time ago. And I think this stadium is probably already being built or already done at the time of me recording this video right now, if the Bears have different ownership group. Yes, I blame both sides of this. The state, because the state, like I said earlier, the state of Illinois sits on their hands. And when it comes to Chicago, Lord knows that is a greedy place where they don't want to pay a dime, but you want to keep the team there, which is actually crazy when you become to think about it. But with this is one of those things where it's not finalized yet. It's not in necessary permanent mark or permanent writing. It's a bill proposed on the table that has steam, that has momentum growing. We'll see how it's going to go within the next coming weeks, next coming days, which, who knows, I might be probably making another video like this. And if things change between now and by the time this is posted tomorrow morning, this becomes obsolete, and you just guys know my thoughts on this. But another thing is, this is and a lot of fans I've seen are clamoring that, oh, we're not gonna play in Chicago no more, which it sucks. You're gonna lose the lore. Like I said, you're gonna lose the lore of the city, the skyline in your background, and just the aura of being in Chicago. But we do have to think about this. There are a lot of prominent teams in the NFL that do not play in their home city, in their actual home city. The San Francisco 49ers play in Santa Clara, not San Francisco. Dallas Cowboys play in Arlington, Texas, not Dallas, Texas. The Jets and the Giants play in New Jersey. The Los Angeles Chargers and Rams play in Eaglewood. But we would be like the Jets and the Giants, that we will be playing in a totally different state if this bill gets proposed. Not proposed, but if this bill follows through and it pushes through law, the Bears will be a team that I think the lore of it, to me, it would just lose a little luster. Now, granted, the Bears, Soldier Field to me has kind of been a dump. And I don't say this, it's just Soldier Field. to what they built it in 2002, 2003 is actually when it opened. I'm not a big fan of Soldier Field to begin with. Me having been there quite a few times, and it's just not the greatest of stadiums. And on top of that, it's definitely a very small stadium when we're talking about fan seating capacity, especially when we're talking about a Chicago fan base in all sports that are loyal, that no matter how the team is doing, they are going to support their team because they love their team. Whether it's the Cubs, and the Cubs had some years where they were bad, fans still showing up. The White Sox have been bad for years, fans still support. The Bulls been in a state of mediocrity for years, they still sell out the arena. Blackhawks, they have been going through a stage of rebuild, fans are still there. The Bears have been going through stages of rebuilding for years. This past season was one of those up seasons that we didn't expect. But even then, fans are going to show up and show out because they love their teams. And for the Bears to have the smallest seating capacity on 61,000 in the NFL in a big, wide city like Chicago, one of the top 3 cities that we have in this country, for this team, this fan base, to have 61,000 seats, it was time for a change regardless of where it is. But as someone who loves this city, loves the city of Chicago, somebody who is a die-hard Bears fan, being outside of Chicago will lose its luster. But I blame 3 parties for all this happening. Bears ownership group, because why buy that property in Arlington Heights if you're not even going to use it? And then on top of that, I've always, like I said, Bears ownership group, they should have sold the team a long time ago. It's crazy as it sounds. I think if they sell a team a long time ago to different owners, we wouldn't be in a situation and the stadium would be building already. 2, I blame the city of Chicago for not really making a push and trying to get the Bears to pay for everything. And they should know, the city of Chicago should know how the Bears organization is, and the city of Chicago should know that it takes 2 parties to really go tumble with this. And then the 3, the state of Illinois for sitting on their hands. While Indiana is making a strong push, Illinois is just sitting on their hands like, okay, we ain't worried about Indiana. Well, worry, because the move to Hammond looks like it could possibly go through. Those are my thoughts on this. Leave yours in the comment section down below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. APW Sports signing out. And as always, bear down. Peace.